ahead. We gotta fire this change of subjects. Wonderful. Let's set the ball rolling. Let's change of subject. Now, on the blackboard, we have what is called the simple pendulum equation. As you can see, the simple pendulum equation, yeah, is modeled in the form, they say, let me take this one, is t is equals to 2 pi square roots of L over G. Okay, so this is what we're supposed to work it out, but we gotta take it step by step. We're gonna break it down in such a way that people have to understand it, because you see we have the t, which is equals to 2 pi square root of L over G. So without wasting time, let's go and break it down and see the best way to go about it. Okay, in the first place, our question that we've been given says t is equals to 2 pi L over G. This is misbehaving today. So this is how it looks. So we're trying to make pi the subject. Okay, so the equation is t is equals to 2 pi square root L over G. Okay, then we're supposed to make pi the subject. Make pi the subject of the equation. So we should make pi the subject of the equation. So our equation has been given as, I like the look of the equation, t is equals to 2 pi square root of L over G. So we should make pi the subject. So what do we do? It's easy to make pi the subject. Yeah, to make pi the subject, it's easy. So let's square both sides of the equation. So when we do that, we're going to square the t. We're going to square 2 pi. Then we're going to square L over G, all squared. So we have t squared is equals to 4 pi squared. And when we square this one, we have L over G. Okay, so that is the equation. So this implies that, yeah, t, let's rewrite it well. So we say t squared is equals to 4 pi squared L over G. So let's multiply, multiply both sides of the equation of the generated equation. So our equation is t squared 4 pi squared L over G. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation generated by G. So we say let's multiply both sides of the equation, generated equation, by G. So then we'll multiply here and here by G, our G, and here by G. So you will see that this G Okay, G will cancel this. So then we'll be left with GT squared is equals to 4 pi squared of L. You know, equation, what we do to the left hand side, we'll do the same on the right. So the next step, step two, we say we divide both side by 4L. So that, well, we have our GT squared is equals to 4 pi squared L. Okay, 4 pi squared L to that expression. And we're going to divide both sides of this equation by 4 pi L. So we divide here by 4 pi L, 4L, and here 4L. So let me write the equation well. The equation will be GT squared is equals to 4 pi squared L all over 4L and 4L. You will see that if we have 4L, so this 4 we cancel this 4, and this L we cancel this L. So over here we'll be left with the pi squared. Okay, so this implies that GT squared all over 4L is equals to pi squared. Okay, so we're supposed to make the pi the subject. So what do? We take square root to both sides of the equation. So we're going to take square roots. So we have GT squared 4 all over L is equals to pi squared. Then we take square root of both sides. Just remember, in every equation, okay, what you do to the left hand side, do the same to the right. So when we do that, then we're going to have square root of GT squared over 4L, okay, is equals to pi. So therefore, the change of subject for pi is given as GT squared 4L square root of that. Okay, that is beautiful. What? And see, so let's have a look. So the first place, yeah, we're supposed to make the pi the subject of the equation. So what we did was, looking at this one equation, we say square both sides of the equation. Square both sides of the equation. Okay, we square both sides of the equation. So our equation, this and that becomes the equation, the square both sides. And after that, we square both sides of this equation. Okay, then we say T squared is equals to 4 pi squared LG. You have to multiply, square on both sides. So we square this, we square that, and we square that. Then we multiply both sides of the equation generated by G, as you can see from here. Okay. Then this G cancel this G. Then we have gt squared is equals to 4 pi L squared. Gt squared is equals to that. So this and that. Okay, gt squared. Right. So our gt squared here and that is the expression we had. Then we divided both sides of the equation by 4L so that the pi squared can stand on its own. So when we did that, the pi squared now became this gt squared over 4L is equals to pi squared. So make the pi the subject. We take square root of both sides of the equation we attained. Okay, then we have our equation to be this gt squared over that. Yes, that's beautiful. But this question can be asked in different form, because we know that the question itself, it says what t is equals to 2 pi square root of L over G. Okay, so 2 pi squared square root of L over G. Well, the beautiful thing is this time around we made a pi the subject, but we can also be asked, okay, we can be asked to make the L the subject. Okay, so in this case, if that becomes the issue, then what we are going to do is to once again say square both sides. So we say square both sides of the equation. To both sides of the equation. If we do that, you see, I always want to put a thing in such a way that everybody can understand it. So you see, we have our equation to be 2 pi squared as it was initially. So the formula given is 2 pi. Okay, it's 2 pi L over G. So it's 2 pi, not squared. So it's 2 pi L over G. So 2 pi L over G. Let's go back. So 2 pi L over G. Right. So we are going to make L the subject. So let's put our equation so easily that everybody can understand. So we have t is equals to 2 pi L over G. So this is the square root of that. So what we said is we're going to square both sides of the equation. So we're going to square t. So we put the t squared 2 pi squared and this L over G squared. If we do that, this will become t squared equals to, when we square 2 we get 4, when we square pi we get pi squared, and L over G square root of that means half. Okay, so if that is the case, and this we can say that 4 pi squared L over G all raised to the power half. We are going to square this and that. So when we do that, these two This half and 2 will cancel. Therefore, our equation now becomes t is equals to, okay, 4 pi squared L over G. Okay, so equation becomes t 4 pi squared L over G. So we're making the L the subject. So we say we divide both sides. Divide both sides by G. Okay, now in this case I think dividing both sides will not help us. Okay, so we say multiply both sides by G. Okay, so multiply both sides by G. So our equation t is equals to 4 pi squared L over G. Okay, then we are going to multiply both sides by G. So both sides multiply here by G and multiply here by G. So straight on, we realize that this G will cancel this G. Okay, so that will get rid of these two G's off. Then our equation G multiplied by T becomes GT equals to 4 pi squared L. Once again, we want to make L the subject, so we divide both sides by 4 pi squared. Okay, so let's do it again. So this will be GT squared 4 pi squared L. So now we're going to divide both sides by 4 pi squared. Because since they are product and they are multiplying, so we divide here by 4 pi squared, here by 4 pi squared. Okay, what do we see? Let's analyze this. You see that 4 pi squared will cancel 4 pi squared. That will render our L to be equal to GT squared all over 4 pi squared. So you see, we are able to make the L the subject. Now, let's go back again. So we see that we were able to make the L the subject, and the fact the other one will make the pi the subject. So what about a G? Well, if we've been asked to make G the subject, let's see. So to making the G the subject, making G the subject, okay, making the G the subject, we know that at a certain point from this line, we were able to derive that GT is equals to 4 pi squared L. Okay, we were able to do that. We say GT is equals to 4 pi squared L. We say GT is equals to 4 pi squared L. You see? So as from here, 4 pi squared L, 4 pi squared L. Okay, then if that is the case, making G the subject, we divide both sides by T, the period. Okay, so the equation GT equals to 4 pi squared L Yes, what do? We have to divide both sides by t. Yeah, t. So divide here by t and here by t. Straight on, we will see that our t's will cancel each other, and our g will be equals to 4 pi squared L all over p t, all over t. So that is it. So the change of subject with this matter is not anything difficult at all. You know, it's all about being able to understand. Let's go up in a recap. You see, with this, as I said earlier, we got to square both sides of the equation. Now, when we square both sides of the equation, you see, we square the t. Okay, we'll square the t. Yes. We'll square the t. We'll square the 2 pi squared, and we'll square the L over G. Okay, then we have t squared is equals to 4 pi squared L over G. Then we have t squared is equals to 4 pi squared L over G. And after that, we multiply through by G. Okay, then we have gt squared is equals to 4 pi squared L. Then for our step 2, we divided both sides by 4L. Okay, so our gt squared is equals to 4 pi squared L. So divided both sides by 4L. You see this 4L divided 4L. So for sure, you know, we're left with the whole expression on the left, gt squared over 4L to be equals to pi squared. But our interest wasn't pi squared. Our interest was on pi. So to make the pi the subject, we got to take square roots to both sides of the equation. So when we did that, the square root of gt squared of 4L and the square root of pi squared. Okay, so that gave us gt squared, yeah, all over. Yes, that's all over. Then we have pi. So that was cool. Then the next one, we decided to make L the subject. So in the same way, we square both sides, and we were left with t here equals to 4 pi squared L over G. Okay, then we multiply both sides by G, and this G cancel this one. Then we have gt is equals to 4 pi L. Then once again, our interest was out, so we decided to divide both sides of the equation by 4 pi squared. And after canceling, here we are. And finally, to making the g the subject, we have gt is equals to 4 pi squared L. So we divided both sides by t. Okay, then we realize that here our t cancel t. Okay, so then we have g to be equals to 4 pi squared L. So this is the final one. Well, nice. Guys, I think we got to wrap it up here. Please go down there, subscribe, and also press on the bell so that you can receive our subsequent videos. Well, stay blessed and see you guys around again. Thank you very much for your time.